Hello, this is a response to Mike Dolly on his video, Turn Wishful Thinking. I mean, that's not what he said. Turn thinking into reality, wishing into reality. So, lots of people say, you know, wishful thinking, thinking positive thinking, yeah, right, heard about it, done it, doesn't work. Well, it does work. You gotta go about it in the right way. Of course, most importantly, you gotta do it well, I guess the right way would be with some type of sincerity. But let's get into it. My name is Helmut Flash, and I'm a marketing consultant. I'm a business consultant. I help small businesses to grow their business. And so, how does that work with marketing and business? What does this have to do? First of all, Michael Dolly, basically, you know, more or less what he's saying here is you got to imagine things. If you cannot see it, it will not happen. You really should watch his video. It's a great video. But you got to realize, you got to imagine things. Now, here's where some people get off their rails with this. Number one, of course, we're living in a world with instantaneous results. Well, it's not instantaneous. Nothing really is. Overnight successes by the best and most beautiful movie stars are not overnight successes. Overnight they might have become successful, but they envisioned and they worked on it for a long, long time. All right, so that's number one, and Michael did talk about it. But here is something I want to add on it. Okay, and that doesn't diminish at all what Michael said, and it's just in the business world. Here's what I find. You know, people like to imagine the big outcome. Let's just assume lots of money, a beautiful house, a great wife, or whatever it might be. Great, nothing wrong with it. Envision it, imagine it. By the way, I imagined a great wife all the time, but whatever I did imagine, it's not exactly what I got. I got something a lot better. I got a super great wife. But, you know, I never imagined her to be what she looks like, how and what. It wasn't even part of it. I imagined the feeling, the type of behavior, more or less, the coziness, the things which are important, you know, to me. And I really didn't sit there imagining it daily either. I just kind of like, you know, knew what I wanted and went through life. Till, well, bang, bingo, all of a sudden it was there. And for some reason, yes, I did know it. Not very first date, you know, first date asking to get married. Why? Because you know it. However, so let's assume you want a particular position, you want a particular size of business. Go ahead, imagine it. And don't be too rigid about it, in my humble opinion. Don't be too rigid about it. Just you know, go and give this some leeway. Just imagine yourself being out there doing things, whatever it might be. And then maybe we shouldn't have to go and think about the actual doingness, the what we have to do to get somewhere. The Secret talks about it, that you don't have to do that. And maybe if we're way, way up there, maybe we're supposed to be there, yes, maybe it could happen. You just imagine a house and it somehow happens for whatever reason. Well, I found it more exciting, more workable to go ahead and imagine A, what you want, and B, what you need to do to make it happen. And here's something very important, very, very important. You imagine a house. You don't imagine only going and making a lots of money and selling whatever you do or whatever it is. You gotta imagine the product which you want to deliver to somebody, whatever that may be. That may be cars sold, so there's a product, there's a sold car that happens to be your product which you need to achieve to make it happening. A machine made, an ice cream made, whatever it may be. You got to imagine that, and got to imagine how it helps somebody or many different peoples. And you got to then imagine how many of them you need to sell to make that happen. And you got to keep in mind the people, you got to see them smiling, eating the ice cream, driving the car, whatever it is. You got to then imagine how can you let them know that you have the ice cream, the car. You got to imagine those steps. You got to see yourself going through those steps. All right, so it's okay to imagine your goal, your dream house, your whatever. Immediately start imagining what you need to deliver to the world in order to get this. Because that's how it goes. You got to deliver something to get that. Okay? Now start imagining how can you deliver this. Basically now you go into slightly more details in, you know, how much do you have to deliver of it? How many ice creams do you need to sell to get $1 million house? And keep it and all that stuff. And of course this whole thing changes, because maybe your house changes, your situation changes, whatever changes. So this is an ever-changing picture, no different than the video you're now watching. Much more changing, as that's a relatively static video you're watching here. All right, so, and you got to imagine and see and visualize the happy people after they have a product, after they got what you sold, what you made. If you only make it, you still gotta visualize how somebody will sell it for you. So you need to sell it to somebody who sells it. Whatever your steps might be, this is what you need to do. Okay? You do this, you dream it, you live it, like so many very, very, very successful and famous people. You know, you gotta you know, you gotta live, you gotta dream, you gotta, you know, you just gotta be immersed in what you want. Which is, however, not just I want to be rich, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. No, the whole process. So, to that degree, the Secret movie and stuff is correct. They go smell the refrigerator, feel the car which you want. Great, yes, but that's the thing you want. Do the same with the happy people, the product you're gonna give to get this, because you always need to do some product which can be exchanged with other people in order for you to get what you want. I mean, that makes sense, right? You know, you don't want to give people things without them giving you something, do you? I mean, let's face it. Yeah, you do some social work, and you do that, of course. But I think you get the point, right? Now, you imagine that the same way. You feel the product. You know, a machinery engineer, and I happen to be one, even though at a very low grade level, and I gave it up right after I got the diploma, some kind of tool maker. You know, we imagine things. We see the machine running, we see the oil going through, we see the cogwheel working, we see the drill going in. Well, at least I did, you know. When you cook, you see the dish coming out. You imagine the veggie actually getting warm, cooking. You imagine it. You imagine the taste. You imagine the people eating it being happy. You imagine them coming back, because if you own a restaurant, you want that, don't you? If you're a host at home, you probably want that, don't you? So you imagine all that, and you leave this imagination. That's how you live it. That's how you live your life. And you know what happens? When you do that, you're already in that universe. You're already there. You're already there. Oh, how beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. By the way, I did that by, you know, in terms of living in different countries. I've lived in 12 of them. I imagined it. I saw it. I saw many, many things. And of course, there's lots of things, you know, I don't write them down necessarily. I actually never do that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't write down goals. I'm saying you got to put a written word in the imagination, in the feeling. It will blossom within you. You are the creator of your feelings at any given time. At any given time, you are the creator of your feelings. There's a lots more to say to that about how to fall in love, how to be in love, how to stay in love. All the same principle. Imagine yourself being in love tomorrow. Imagine yourself, your wife doing the things, or your spouse doing the things you want, and it actually will all actually happen. And you will live that world. We are a mirror of what we see. Yes, you've heard all that. Do not write it off as baloney. Do not write it off as something the ancient people said and did, and something which comes out from the Bible. I don't even know where it does, even though I've read the thing. But ladies and gentlemen, you are the creator of your thoughts, and your thoughts will become reality. There is nothing else to it. Now use it in business, okay? And of course, don't run away because it doesn't happen the first time, because you know, this needs to cook. A turkey needs to cook. So, give it time. You know, give it time. Things will happen the way they happen. Okay? That's it. Use it for business. Use it for marketing. There's lots of those videos on the website which you see below. I hope this helped. Bye-bye.